A turning point of warfare that occurred during the Civil War was the use of tactics in all parts of battle. Around the start of the Civil War, many advanced weapons were made that were very powerful. They made it necessary to put well thought out tactics into battle. The rifle musket was one of the new weapons, and it was able to shoot around 500 yards while still maintaining accuracy. There was also the smoothbore cannon, which was a much more dangerous weapon that had a large impact on battles. Thus, new ideas of fighting had to be developed to ensure success. Instead of standing in lines and waiting to be shot while shooting until they no longer could, different tactics were used. The army sent waves of soldiers, and then other sharpshooters would hide behind cover where they were safe and try to protect the attackers. This idea could greatly prevent overwhelming amounts of casualties and injuries to the soldiers, while remaining very effective. The other main tactic for fighting was staying on the defensive side. Soldiers would build defensive trenches into the ground, and they would often pile up strong objects that could stop bullets. They would hide in them and shoot the enemies in places where they were almost untouchable by bullets. This idea was not as common among the armies, but it usually proved to be successful, and it gave a large advantage in combat. Not only were the two main ways of fighting, the geography in war often was an effective way to use tactics. One of the most important parts of using geography is to have the high ground. High ground gives a view of the surrounding area, which was a key factor to winning battles because the enemy was almost always detected before they could get too close. Also, it was a big advantage for the enemy to have to come to you and for them to have to fight upward instead of being prepared and waiting for you. The enemy would most likely not know the land you were on as well as you did, and if there was something awful waiting for them. Another important part of using geography was to find thick objects like trees or rocks that could stop bullets. These two ideas were often combined, and the protection was brought up to the high ground to help the soldiers. A battle in which these tactics were used to give the Union the help necessary for a win was in Gettysburg. On the last day of the battle, the Union had the high ground. They also had a stone wall up on the ground that was a very helpful type of protection. Combined with the high ground, the Union was able to use defensive tactics while the Confederates were forced to attack. The Confederates did attack, but without thinking about the tactics of it too well, and this caused them not to be prepared for the Union's defense. The Union held them off from there and won the battle that day. This battle was an event that showed a turning point in the Civil War, and it was a turning point in the use of tactics. So the tactics of battle had an enormous effect on the results during and at the end of all battles. They were one of the reasons that the Union won the Civil War.